Hey everybody, welcome to another Quicksave Review. A Quicksave Review, if you haven't seen it before, is basically a Let's Play mixed with a review for a game that I'm currently playing. And I'm currently playing Mask of Mists. Mask of Mists. It's a tough title to say, or maybe it's just the word mists. Tough word. Regardless, this is actually a really cool first-person fantasy puzzle game. So, for what I can tell here, you play as this magician, swordsman type dude, and you explore the world looking for ways to solve different puzzles and get into different places in the world. So it's got this absolutely wonderful, like, cartoonish, FPS style to it. I absolutely love the colorization used here. Like, I love how you get these really beautiful greens mixed with, like, the really magical, like, pink stuff going on over here. It's a very nice art style. It really is. I am currently in the middle of trying to figure out a few different things. One is how to get over to this other side by somehow chopping that tree down. And I'll show you some of the other stuff I'm trying to figure out here too. But let's go explore, shall we? This game favors puzzle solving and exploration over combat. So I will tell you guys that up front. Oh man, look at this. This can't be good for this guy wearing a mask here. You don't want to touch this stuff either. It'll burn you. I found that out the hard way. But basically, what you're running into here is a game that, like I said, favors the puzzle exploration stuff over combat. So you're going to run into enemies in this for sure. There is combat, which is why we have this handy-dandy sword, right? However, even though we have a sword, the combat it's a bit strange. Once we run into a slime or an enemy here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. But here's another tree on this side. You can see it very similar to what we had on the other side. We need to chop this down to be able to get over there. There's some like flaming something over there we can't quite get over to just yet. And if you try to interact with it, it'll let you know, hey, we need something to cut it down, but we don't have anything. You do have this sort of handy-dandy dash ability. I wish they had like a little thing on the HUD to let you know when that was going to recharge for you. You kind of just got to feel it out and know when it's usable again. That's I guess one of the critiques I would have for this game is that it's not completely, I guess it's not completely tutorial friendly or user friendly in certain areas. You have your journal, which you can bring up at any point, and you can read these notes that will actually give you clues for different puzzles and stuff. However, down here, this is your actual goal. So we need to activate 6 navigation crystals, and you can read more about the navigation crystals in here. You're going to find other little secretive stuff in here too. Like you see in that tree there, you can see some eyeballs, but as you approach, they close. And when you interact, it says, it seemed to you for a moment that there was someone inside the hollow. Inspect the tree. If you hit inspect the tree, you inspect it, but it says you don't find anyone. Whatever was in there is gone. As we back up, there's the eyes again. Another mystery to solve. So we could see an enemy down the way over here. I haven't actually fought one of these things yet, so let's fight one. Oh wow, this thing is powerful. So we're gonna kill that thing immediately. So that thing took off a whole bar of my health. You can see in the top left, you do actually have health in this. We got 3 of our 6 bars available. So we're doing okay, but we're not doing great. We're actually trying to collect these bundles of woods here too, because we're trying to start a fire, which I'll show you what I'm talking about with that in just a second here. You're also going to find these chests around the world where you can find health potions and rubies. I haven't had to use the rubies for anything yet, but I assume they're going to be used in potions because your guy is also an alchemist. He is going to use his talent to craft new potions, which we're going to do in just a second here, and I'll show you what that's all about. One of the other things I want to point out in this game that I do like is the visual storytelling. I really like that in certain areas you can see how deadly it was for people. You can see the shield here. You can see the spears here. The bones and everything. I really like that aspect of this game. Let's go exploring here. This must be the first dungeon, I'm assuming. I have not actually explored any dungeon stuff yet. Aha. We've opened it. We cannot break the pots. One of the other things, too, with this game is that though it's about puzzle solving and figuring stuff out, which is what I like about it, it is a little bit, for lack of a better word, feels a bit linear. Let's take this guy out. So this is what combat is. Combat is basically just walking up to the creature, hitting it, and then backing off of it as fast as you can so it doesn't eat you. And that's combat so far. I don't know if it's going to get crazier or cooler with spells or anything. You would really hope it would, but I really don't know. So far, killing the enemies hasn't given me anything, like no drops, no experience, nothing like that. So, if you're expecting anything like that, don't, because it's not going to happen. All right, looks like we have to light 4 braziers here to actually get through that door. So let's go see if we can find them. There's one up there. Aha! That should be a second one, right? Yep, those 2 are lit. Great. Gotta go explore somewhere else. But yeah, that might be my biggest thing with this game, my biggest gripe as far as critiques go, is the combat. The combat seriously feels like an afterthought. I would almost rather the game be a game that just doesn't have combat than have combat that's like not super enjoyable, if that makes sense. I'd almost rather just be about exploring and figuring out puzzles if the combat's going to be like what it is. So that's kind of where I'm at. I guess that's all there is to explore here. Those 2. Did we find 4? I think we only found 3, right? We can't open these. This one's got a different color. Oh, it's because it's how it's lit there. So it's got a different color. Maybe we can bash that open. So there's one more. Okay, we didn't go this way. Aha. Lit. Now, it's not so much that the combat is hard or difficult or anything like that. If anything, it's too easy. But it's just, there's not much to it, which is sort of what gets me down about it. And it gets me down because the rest of this game is so cool. Like, I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. This is like an actual fun dungeon game that I would play all the way through for sure, despite the combat. Go search over here. Go for enemies. Oh, it just said game saved, so there must be something going on here. Okay, so those are lit. Do we have to unlight them? Oh no, there we go. Those are lit. Oh, okay, so we have to have 2 lit. Okay, so that's a sun, moon. So this is definitely puzzly. Okay, so we extinguished 1. Alright, so everything's extinguished, so maybe we gotta do two suns? The 2 suns, maybe? I'm not sure. I was just trying things out and it seemed to work. Whew, just missed that thing. More puzzly stuff. And yet another corridor. Ah, it's one of those things. So now I know these guys have like a projectile. I'm just gonna sort of dash around and try to avoid it. The ones with the projectile definitely improve the combat a bit there, but still. It's the way the guy controls when you're doing the combat. It like just doesn't feel natural. The sword feels, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be that way because the guy is he's a magician at heart, right? The drawing resembles the plan of a room. Yeah, I suppose it does. Oh, I see. Light those 2, do not light those 2. Okay, so that's how you're probably supposed to know where to go next. I see. I don't think that was the same room, right? Let me go look at that one more time. Okay, it's those two and then the one in the middle. I see. I wasn't looking at it properly. But yeah, I don't want to rag on the game too long about the combat and stuff like that, because the rest of the game has so much cool stuff to offer. I would feel like such a jerk just like ragging on the combat stuff, because I don't feel like there's enough of it in the game to really warrant any kind of, you know, I would say any kind of a negative review of that sort, you know. But again, if you're going to include something in your game, I'm one of those guys that's like, hey, you know, don't half-ass it, you know, kind of do a little bit more with it, you know. And it's possible, like, I'm still very early in this game. I'm only within, you know, the first hour of this game, so maybe it gets crazier later, but it's just the way the combat feels that I'm not really into. So we got our first navigation crystal. We're going to activate that. I don't want to go back to the dungeon entrance just yet, because there was one room we didn't go into just yet. But there was a sample of what the dungeons are like, in case you are interested. Wait for that to go by one more time. Oh, okay, we can hug the walls. Alright, we already did this room. So the room we wanted to explore was here. Ah! I feel like I snuck in on the guy taking a whiz or something. There's some stuff to break, and there we go. So, good. Glad we came back in for these 2 rubies. So there you go. We have finished the dungeon. I think we collected everything that we could here. Relatively simple dungeon as far as dungeons go, but it is the first of the game, so hey, you know what? What are you gonna do? We are playing this on Steam, by the way. If this does look like a game you're interested in, I believe it's about $15. And it came out last week, so it is now available. This is not a game that is early access or anything like that. It is a full-fledged game ready to go. One of the other things I like about it is it doesn't seem like there's many bugs in the game. Everything seems very straightforward. Oh, and the point that I was making previously, too, is that the game feels pretty linear as far as things go, right? I think now that it's opening up a bit, it doesn't feel that way as bad. But when you first start the game, like, you can kind of tell, like, you collect these journal pages in a row, and then they stack up, and then, you know, the way the quests and everything unfold, they feel very, like, narrow. Like, you can only go so far with certain things in, you know, in a row. You can't just, like, split off and go one way. Like, for you to obviously cut down those trees and get across, you got to do one thing to do the other. And it looks like you are sort of like funneled into doing that one thing as opposed to exploring the world more. And I don't really look at that as like a bad thing. I'm actually okay with a tight experience like that. I'm okay with like an experience for a game being like, hey, you know, this is guided, you know, you're going to be kind of funneled through these areas to do this. But this looks like it is opening up just a little bit more, but I wouldn't expect like a Skyrim type experience if that's what you're looking for, like basically enter the world and go anywhere you want to do what you want. There is a guide to what's happening here for sure. These things you can actually use to throw at things up there like that. What do we get? Oop, we hit it up over there. What happens if we destroy all these things? I destroyed one of these things earlier. It's a cauldron. Because one of the things up here was actually a key into another area. Now, I did not destroy the other stuff because I don't think it's actually needed. Yeah, because it's just like a stool and stuff like that. It's just silly stuff. But we were talking about making potions, right? So I actually collected these flowers and the mushroom out in the forest when I was out there earlier. So we're going to actually craft this anti-rust potion. The reason we need this rust potion, or anti-rust potion, is because we actually have a cellar door in this house that we're looking to get into. I don't know what's in there, I don't know what we're going to do, but that's what we need. You can also interact with this. You could start a fire with 6 pieces of wood. We've been collecting the wood, so look, we can finally start the fire. We also have a pan that we collected, and boom, there's the pan. So I don't know if our quest was to like fry some eggs. I don't know if that's what we're trying to do here. But it made me laugh that I was like, I found a pan, I found fire. I'm like, I guess we're making breakfast, right? I thought it was kind of funny. Hinges of this hatch rusted long time ago and you can't open it. Remove the rust with the potion. He's using the Windex spray bottle. Alright, so now we can go into the basement. And here we are. Look at this. We use the cellar door. Ah! I didn't know there were gonna be enemies down here. Kill it. We got a rabbit trap. Who knows what we're gonna use that for? Oh, we got another note here. Passage about the creatures of the abyss. The creatures of the abyss can verily take on a variety of forms. So, some of them are tangled tentacles, or tangle of tentacles. Okay, so that's the thing that burned me over there. Growing out of the ground several times higher than human growth. These creatures are deadly dangerous, but what is surprisingly absolutely not... dangerous, but what is surprisingly absolutely do not tolerate meat. That's just weirded very strangely. Subjected to heat treatment, this is a real poison for them. Okay, so you gotta spray them with some kind of heat, it sounds like. And apparently we gotta catch like a rabbit, it would seem. Alright, we got another health potion and a ruby. I don't know what the rabbit trap is for. Very interesting. Alright, so we got the fire going, we did all that stuff. Things are looking okay. We didn't really look in the magician's room at all, did we? We actually had to open this door, just so you guys know. It's another thing note that you end up picking up in the area, so you find, oh, this was the order in which you have to touch the runes and it opens that area, you know? And as you can see from the journal too, I don't know if this is how long the game is actually going to be. I've already collected 5 of these, so I mean, it looks like you're going to be collecting just over what? Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's going to be like 20 notes to get. I'm already like a quarter of the way through the game and I barely played. I'm about at like the hour mark here. So this is probably, for what I could tell, like 4 or 5 hour game, you know, depending on how much trouble some parts of the game give you, right? But I wanted to point out this really, really cool magician's room here. Cool owl. You know, we had stuff floating around up here. We had the master bedroom. The master bedroom's sweet. Place where you can make potions. Very cool library. I just thought it was really fun that they created this really cool magician or wizard's room by just touching the runes here. There you go, it appears. I thought that was pretty fun and a nice little touch. The land definitely feels magical, but it definitely, as I said already too, feels linear. So if you're in for like a linear, like it's almost like a linear open world experience, then I think you're gonna really enjoy this. Because the puzzle solving in this is like, I don't know that I'd call it light, but it's lighter than some games. You know, it's lighter than like a point-and-click adventure, but it successfully is taking the point-and-click adventure ideas and applying them to a game where it's not hard to figure out what you need to do next, you know? This door I cannot open because I need the Fort Terrace key. Not sure where we're going to find that key, but I guess we'll hopefully find it soon. Hopefully. Loading screens are a bit long, I would say, for what the game is loading between segments there. Considering my PC rig, not to brag or be a jerk about it or anything, but I have a pretty decent PC. So I'm kind of surprised that it takes that long to load anything. I was trying to see if I could jump up over to where that stuff's at, but I guess I can't unless I get the key for that door. I'm gonna double check this house too, see if there's anything in here. See, this house loaded like quick. No big deal. But I bet if we go out here, it'll take just a bit longer because it's loading this whole world area. And it's not so much that the loading times are terrible or anything, but they're a little longer than I expected. Let's see, what do we got? Our inventory. Forest berries. We do have wood mushrooms. We got 2 stone masks. And the rabbit trap for catching small creatures. Okay, so over here is where we need to start, like, kind of figuring out what we need to do. Over here, there was this, like, little area, but there was nothing here. I don't know if we need to set something down here once we get it. That's kind of what it looks like. I know here we have to plant something eventually, which is... yeah, it says fertile land, but we don't have anything in our inventory like a... I guess we have a carrot. We could plant a carrot, but I feel like it would give us the option when we clicked on it. hence, like I was talking about, like that sort of point-and-click adventure style to it, you know, where it gives you the context or is context sensitive when it's appropriate, you know. When you collect the right item, it's going to say, hey, plant thing here. There's one other area we could actually explore that I haven't been yet. So yeah, I wish the UI was a little bit more user-friendly. I was talking about that a little bit earlier. I kind of skipped over it. Actually, if you hit escape and go to the controls here, you can actually see that there are quick buttons for things, right? But it's 2020, and we're now in a position where, you know, we put stuff on screen to let you know how to do stuff, right? Just as like a quick reference. Like, why not in the little health potion up there where your health is at, put just like a little Q next to it to know, like, oh, if you hit Q, that's how it's going to work, you know? If this is ported over to a console, I don't know if it's on consoles at the moment or not, but, you know, if it's on Xbox or something, you know, hit A to use health potion, you know, that kind of stuff. I think that would really help out with, you know, that sort of language to the player, you know? Inventory, I didn't know that we could actually open an inventory until I looked in here. I was like, oh, you can see that there's an inventory. So it's little things like that. Like, why not put a little note up here in the top left that says, like, you know, a little inventory icon that says I for, or a tab for inventory, you know what I mean? So just little things like that I think would really, really help the game out. Look, I didn't even know that you could shoot. Look, there's a right click button. It says shoot. I guess I didn't get a wand yet, so I can't do that. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else we haven't done yet, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So yeah, I think that's something else I would add to this game as well. I can understand the reasons for not wanting to do it. You want to kind of like make sure that the person playing is like fully engulfed in your game, right? You want to make sure they're immersed, but at the same time, I think we all know we're playing a video game. Okay, so this is one cave I haven't gone into yet, so why don't we jump in and check it out? Seems that Rabbit is hiding in the depths of the hole. Let's set the trap. Put carrot. Okay, so you had to put the carrot and that. So now we leave. Was that the sound of the trap? You try to pull the rabbit out of the hole, but it bites you. Oh, and it actually took off a lot of health. Crazy, just so you guys know. A rabbit bite... it takes off... Oh, that sound must have been... We got the rabbit because we walked away far enough. A rabbit takes off just as much health as one of those creatures shooting something at you. Alright, so we got raw meat. Oh my god, we killed... we killed the rabbit. Killed a wabbit. Killed a wabbit. Okay. We have rabbit meat now, so I guess we're gonna go cook this? Is that kind of what we're doing? I know we need something that's fiery, which to get those tentacles on the other side, I guess we would need to cut this thing down to get those fiery things over there, right? That would be my assumption, but I don't know that for sure. I have no way of getting over there until I find some kind of axe or a sharp tool or something, because I cannot chop this thing down. But yeah, for me, I actually really enjoy this game. So far, what I played of it, you know, the hour and a half, whatever portion I'm into there, I'm really digging it. I think that this is a really well-made indie game. I think it's one that you guys have a lot of fun with if you give it a shot. It's just a pleasure to play. It's just fun. And I'm having a good time with it, for sure. Let's fry this meat. All the little things that I mentioned about it are not really that big of issues. I think that it's all like little stuff that they could improve the game with like a small patch or whatever, you know, just like make it a little bit more user-friendly, you know, that kind of thing. Other than that, you know, the few things that I mentioned, I'm really digging it. Like I've already harped on enough, the combat is like the biggest letdown, honestly. But I don't feel like you engage with it enough that it's like a huge issue. Alright, so we now have a steak. Oh, maybe we gotta use the rabbit meat with the guy in the tree? I don't know, we'll go do that here and then we'll see what happens. We'll probably call it there. I don't know if this well is going to come into anything later in the game either, but yeah, the team that worked on this, though, they made a beautiful looking world. It controls really well. I haven't run into any bugs at all playing it, which is really, really such a great thing when you're playing like an indie game, because you never know what to expect, you know, with all these indie games coming out nowadays. But they made a beautiful game with a world that's really fun to explore in, with a lot of fun, mysterious things to check out. We can inspect the tree again. All right. I don't know what to do with the rabbit meat, so I'm just gonna have to figure that out on my own time, I guess, at some point here. Because I don't see anywhere else where that would be useful. Yeah, because I really thought the next dungeon was gonna be where this rabbit was. And I don't think we can actually go in this cave, right? Doesn't look that way. We really don't have anything that will saw that down, right? Yeah, we just got the sword. I wonder if that meat will let us make like a new potion or something like that. But the thing is you don't just get to make new potions. I believe you got to collect the scrolls to actually find the potions. Yeah, so if we... Oh, throw the fried meat. Here we go. That's interesting. That's not what I was expecting to do there at all. I thought it said that fire would be the thing, but... Alright, so we got some more poopy monsters to deal with here. I'm going to use a health potion here, just to use it. Whew. Oh, he got me a little bit there. Covered me in goop. Oh, this is one of those suitable item areas. This actually is how the game starts. You gotta find these little red skull things. You gotta place them on the area. Oh, here's another scroll. About the statuettes. Even being buried in the ground, the statuettes literally burn the grass growing above them, making it turn black and gradually die. So they are giving you clues to find things, which is cool. But you're probably not going to have to explore long to find these things. But yeah, guys, this is Mask of Mists. I'm really enjoying my time with it so far. It is a more guided puzzle-style game with a really, really fun world to explore. And I definitely recommend this one. I think it's pretty damn good. Like I said, it seems like it might end up being like maybe a 5 to 6 hour game or so. So if you're cool with that, it is $15 on Steam. And I'm having a good time with it. I think we can actually, yeah, we can make stuff here too. So we got another alchemist table. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video here. I want to thank you for watching. If this video helped you at all, please remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Give me a GG in the comments. And of course, I'll see you all next time.